Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All I Can Geek Moviecast, episode 489. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 489 of the Moviecast. Wow, we are in isolation, everybody. This is the first time in the history of the box office there's been a $0 box office. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, it's been different, I have to say. All these movies are coming out now on streaming platforms. Mm-hmm. So we're going to discuss the future of the box office and movies going forward. Tonight, that's our topic. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's first get into what we've been up to, what we've watched. Mike,
let's do it.
I know you just... yeah.
I finished out Legion Season 3 and the series by extension.
Oh, nice. How was that series finale, then?
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole Season 3 was a little off the rails. Like, I know the whole series is kind of off the rails, but the first season did a good job of making everything make sense by the end. The second one did, but there were some hanging threads. And in the third one, they didn't close all those hanging threads, and it ran into a little bit of a problem of...
It got chucked.
No, I mean, the ending is a definitive ending, but it's one of those endings that sort of, like, discounts a lot of what you've seen so far. But they had to introduce a time travel aspect this time around, and, so there's a lot of importance placed on a new time-traveling character that just came out of nowhere in these last 8 episodes. They also, like... Things that were kind of cool in the early seasons are getting a little stale, like just random musical numbers breaking out. Like, they did it a little bit too much this third season.
Mm.
That said, I don't do this normally, but I did sort of fully kind of binge the last 3 episodes. So, I mean, that was good. It was because it was finally like, oh, shit's hitting the fan. We're going to get like some sort of resolution here. And we got one, and it was, I mean... It's hard to see what else they could have done with it. I'm a little sad to see it go, but overall, it's still the same sort of just trippy mindfuck of a series. But I don't know, and you do get a bit more of what ties him to the greater. They actually use the term. This is not really a spoiler. I don't know if anyone's really gonna. Is anyone planning to watch this?
What is it?
Legion.
No.
I don't think so, Mike. Not with the purchase of Disney and stuff for the Fox properties. Did I just freeze?
Yeah, you went like slow motion there. But yeah, no.
I bought a new network too. Damn it!
But they actually used the term Omega Mutant, so that was cool.
Nice.
And you get a bit more of Xavier. Of course, it's not. You actually see him by this, but it's not quite the Xavier, because it's time travel stuff going on. But Shadow King is sort of like the one tying thing along with David for the whole thing, and he gets an interesting sort of resolution that you weren't expecting. So there's definitely stuff that's good, but some of the side characters don't really get any sort of resolution whatsoever.
That's what stinks about shows that end without ending.
I mean, it was the definitive ending for sure, and for some of the side characters, like, I didn't care. They kind of sucked to begin with. Like, I don't need to know what happens to that character, but it's just, I don't know. It could have, could have been more, or could have been a little more coherent in the end. But I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad it existed. It still stands as like a 24 or 5 episode sort of miniseries at this point.
Right.
So it's a thing. I mean, if you're interested in having a weird time with like some auxiliary sort of, it's definitely the most interesting take on like what these super powerful like psychic or just crazy mutants would do if they were like crazy, and it's just an interesting.
Well, that's why I loved. I think when you saw like Logan was like that with Professor X being senile. I thought it's similar, obviously very similar. But
that was similar, but this takes it to like reality altering levels in this constantly. But Yeah, it's so I still would recommend it, but it didn't close quite as strong as it opened. I'll say.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. I watched WrestleMania 30. Have you guys check that out?
That was on at work.
Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked at how I don't know. I've never seen that the Undertaker's loss in WrestleMania. Like so I've never seen the live reaction to that, and I thought it was like really well done from WWE that there was no music after Brock Lesnar won to have that audience reaction just echo for a while.
That was 6 whole years ago already.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. So
they had that. Isn't the same like matchup with John Cena and that guy gonna happen this WrestleMania?
Yeah, that's why I think they showed that one. But so I watched that. Not really much else besides I've been playing Ori a lot, so I haven't really watched anything that that's of note. So there's not really been any sports on TV, and I know there's some shows to catch up on, and I'm like, I've watched another episode, but I talked about that before to talk about, so I'm good. Corey, anything good for you?
Just been actually speaking of Chuck. I was watching Chuck, and going back and watching that made me like, I want to watch some other shows back in those days, and so I'm on like a Castle kick right now. So I've been watching a lot of Castle.
I fell off that show like in the middle of something that was big. I just sort of like when he had like silly that season where he had like amnesia and he didn't know what he did or whatever. Like that's about when I fell off.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do like Lucifer it's on Netflix now, and those I like those. I mean, I got, I guess, a guilty pleasure there with those types of shows. So watch that, and then because you guys talked about, watch Frozen 2 on Disney Plus, and I don't know, man. Frozen was good because it had a pretty impactful ending. I felt like, and the music was just.
I don't think it had an impactful ending. I think it didn't have I think they made up a
Frozen 2.
A villain. No, the first one.
No, it wasn't about the villain. It was about the two sisters.
Yeah, I guess.
But the music was so much better in the first one.
Oh yeah, way better.
I was really shocked.
The Christoph power ballad thing was weird.
That one I didn't mind. I didn't think that was that bad. I just think that it felt forced in this one, where the other one seems much more natural. So
yeah. I know that the biggest song that came out of the new one actually sounds like laughably bad when people just
it's also Panic at the Disco is like singing it as well, and I was like, whoa, this is weird. But I mean, I guess it grows on you a little bit, but it's not nearly as strong as the first one, unfortunately. But still made a ton of money for them. So
all right, cool. Tony?
Nope, nothing.
It's Animal Crossing.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into the news. Hope my internet holds. I think it's just my area now because I bought a new mesh Wi-Fi.
This is the Ubiquity one now?
Yeah, I bought the Ubiquity, and it's been coverage like crazy, amazing. Like I've been able to go across like the yard now, like in my backyard. Like
you gotta get one of those antenna ones you can just put in the Hopshaven area and just like shoot your internet over there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that. I have it down to the lower trailer. I'm using a lot of data though. I'm using a lot of data, but it might be the time of night too. In my area, it's just everybody's online. They're actually going to start throttling streaming bandwidth. If you guys hadn't noticed it yet, YouTube is going to be throttling their video bandwidth to help with the online usage. Netflix has been talked about dropping their 4K streaming, and they're going to go down to just 1080p.
I thought the YouTube thing is really kind of like a trick where it's just by default a lower resolution, and you'd have to change it manually if you wanted higher res.
Yeah, they're defaulting to the 480p or whatever it is. Yeah. So, it's a little trick, but obviously most people don't notice that. So,
most people, yeah.
I mean that's not too bad. Like I think that's a good enough strategy.
It's not terrible.
If you're not bothered, then don't bother.
Yeah.
If you guys see me like fidgeting a lot, like moving, it's because I'm standing. Like,
I think I noticed. I'm like,
I was gonna try. Now, should I try this, guys? I got this ball.
Oh, geez.
Should I try that? I don't know. Like,
just bounce up and down the whole podcast.
Last
I'm gonna
year,
give it a go. I'm giving it a go. Oops.
I switched to standing at my desk.
I'm too low.
You're too low, yeah.
Tilt the camera down.
Yes.
There you go.
I just want to be like office Jim and just pop. But no, the office, at my office, I stand when I work, and so like on Friday last week, the first day I was home and working from home, I was sitting and I just couldn't do it. It felt so weird.
Yeah.
I had to like reconfigure my entire setup so I could be standing.
Make standing desks.
No, I don't own one though. Here, I have one at my office.
Tim went out and bought one because he's so used to having that. So
much for me, it's just a lot better. And then the other thing is I have an ergonomical mouse thingy like this thing, which I didn't have on Friday, and my God, my arm was like destroyed. Like I couldn't believe it. Like it was so, because like normally you have to hold the mouse like this, and it's twisting muscles and it's straining your arm, but like your natural position of your arm is this way. And so like when I use my mouse at work, it's like this. You can see in the camera here.
Yeah.
And so like I wasn't doing that. I was like this all day on Friday, and again my hand was killing me. So I had to actually get everything from my office so I could work properly.
I don't know if we'll sit this long like this, just so you all know.
Like the new normal. Yeah, this is ridiculous.
So yeah, I've been on conference calls all week from home. So I went got this exercise ball anyways because the gyms are closed and I wanted to exercise from home. But I was like, people use these to sit on, I think, on their computers. So I'm going to try it on this podcast and engage my core, right? Is that what it is?
It's supposed to help you with your posture as well.
Yeah, that's why my back feels very straight right now. Mm-hmm. So it's doing it. So let's go to the news. The biggest news of the week, I think, is the fact that the Olympics are postponed.
Well, they're proposing a 1-year postponement.
I thought it was actually done.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, this
is old. I thought today they completely officially did it.
The Prime Minister of Japan
is like cool with it now.
Finally, yeah.
So 2021 for the Olympics, the Summer Olympics, which is fine. This makes the most sense. They were talking to athletes.
I mean, it helps for everyone because everybody who's trying to be their best can't necessarily.
You can't really train well right now.
Yeah.
So it's like this was my argument. This is a personal thing, but like there was bowling tournaments that they just today canceled that were next week, and I'm like, we're not bowling. Why is this? I haven't bowled in weeks. Why are we doing this right now?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's like the biggest news. I think it's good that they didn't cancel the Olympics because we've never missed the Olympic Games. This is the first time I think they've actually been delayed, right?
Probably.
So, it's the first for everything. 2020, guys. It's been a great year.
Yep.
A great year.
Starting all strong.
Avatar 2 is still under development, obviously, as we know. But because of the amount of CGI in that movie, it's being worked on as we speak. They're working a number and also mostly online. I'm sorry if I froze on that, guys. I can see when I freeze now, at least. Mostly they're doing it online based, and they're sharing documents and editing CGI remotely, which is an awesome setup. James Cameron came on record to say that. So that movie's still moving forward. Obviously they can't film any actual scenes with actors, but it's cool to, something's getting done right now because we're going to have think about this fall, guys, with just TV shows. We're not going to have new TV shows this fall.
Mm-hmm.
Darn.
I'm just saying, it's different. All these big, advertisements for all these failure shows that are coming out, they're not going to be coming out now.
No, I mean, and the other thing is, I think if there's any business that maybe could have been done for home, they're gonna maybe they'll stay remote.
It's gonna affect people. You can't deny, and unfortunately for people whose jobs and livelihood they're affected by that, and so hopefully they can land on their feet and be okay and get through this.
Yeah.
I do wonder about this stuff with CGI and also on the other podcast, game development. How strong is everyone's personal computer? What can they really do remotely that they don't have access to whatever is in
some
the
people
office?
just bring their
a lot of people
home.
brought that's what our company did.
I'm on my work computer doing this.
I mean, I don't know if that's always an option for everyone when they have giant proprietary things.
I mean, there's those kind of setups. Sometimes there's 6 screens going. So I get Mike's point. Maybe they don't have the office space for that. And it's more, but you have to learn to work with the limitation you have. So it's like, yeah, you got to work on two screens. You got to work on two screens.
I understand. Like, I'm just wondering, like, because it's sort of like this in between thing with all the like CGI stuff or like even game development. Like, it'll be delayed, but not as bad as maybe other industries. So it's interesting to me.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we're gonna see how this goes, and we're gonna talk about it at the end, like the impact.
Funny enough, Jim, the new Ori game was actually developed completely remote.
Really?
Like all their teams. Yep.
There's a bunch of different people in different areas, countries.
They've done a fantastic job with that game. I'll get into that in the
They had
Gamecast.
60+ people or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Let's see. Wonder Woman 1984 is officially delayed until August. August 14th is its release date.
Makes sense.
So
they want a theatrical release. I guess. Do you think smaller movies will just go straight to digital in this window?
Yeah, probably.
I completely froze there, guys. Sorry, I'm having really bad internet right now.
Tell people to stop streaming while you're doing this.
Yeah, well, this is not possible. The entire house is right now. I mean, the entire house. I can tell you, like, this new system, I can tell who's using the most bandwidth. I mean, I'm probably still using the most bandwidth.
Throttle them, Jim. You have the control.
You have the power.
Throttle them.
How do I do that?
I
haven't figured that out yet.
Like, you guys get...
Oh, wait. I can give myself priority. Wait, I can give myself priority bandwidth.
Yeah.
Hang on.
No, I mean, you have...
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Doing it live here.
Right.
But no, as far as, like, movie delays, they have to. Like, I don't think anything that was scheduled for the next 3 months is coming out in that period of time. They all have to go. And, I mean, we're probably not coming out of this until at least October, November.
I mean, I don't know if it would be that long, honestly. I think things will start getting back.
I don't even want to guess months anymore. I'm sick of, because, you know.
I'm just saying, as far as, like...
If you follow the current standings, we'll be back at Easter.
But yeah, just as far as what we can expect, like, I don't see us, like, people regularly going out to the theater until like October or November.
I see August as a viable option. I
think once the all clear is given, people are going to rush out.
No, I don't think not in April for certain. I think that June would be questionable, but if you still do, like, if you look at the timeline from China and the way this went, and they're still cautiously moving forward with things and opening things slowly, you don't just flood the gates open and open everything up. You start doing small bits by bits to bring it back. So it depends on when we hit that bottom to start bringing things back. And so I understand what Corey's saying, where that could be like October, but I think movie theaters themselves, I think August is going to be it. I think we're going to hit that bottom curve in like mid-June.
Sure. I mean, I agree with you that things are going to start trickling out a little bit more, and people will start feeling more comfortable. But as far as like getting back to a more regular, what it used to be, so a sense, I don't see it until like October at least.
You think it'll still affect the numbers, is what you're saying?
Yeah, just because it's still going to get worse right now. We're still not at the apex of how bad it's going to be, and we still have to come out of that.
Okay.
Like, there are still tons of people that aren't tested, can't get tested, and don't know if that is, and the people are stupid.
We're still getting.
And the more the people have it, the more it's getting out of there. So
yeah,
you have to. It's just gonna take a while. That's why I'm thinking. But I mean, as far as movies go, because it's Moviecast and TVs, like you said, stuff is getting affected, and everything's getting pushed back. So
yeah,
I've already seen it like years and stuff.
So in the meantime, I have now set myself to streaming mode on my router for this device. So we'll try streaming. There's also gaming, and I'm like, what would be the difference, do you think?
Probably
latency.
Latency, yeah.
I mean, is that what we want for this? Isn't that what we want? Like, why wouldn't that be? Yeah, maybe I'll try it. I'll try it here. If it jumps
streaming is probably just down. You probably want gaming for up as well.
Yeah,
I would just assume.
Maybe. Well, we'll try it on streaming here, and if I freeze up again, we'll try it on gaming. And if I still freeze up, then I'm just gonna throw my hands up in the air.
Do it live.
Which we won't see because you'll be frozen.
Hey, everybody gets to see us tinker, man. This is life now. We're tinkering.
I mean, I said it before. We're right there with all the late night talk show hosts. They're doing the same thing. they're like freezing in split screen too.
Well, that
right
was
now,
the thing.
so.
Like a lot of podcasts had to make an adjustment for this because a lot of people still met together and did a podcast. It was like we're good. We've been doing this for a while. So, but. All right, let's move into Disney Plus. Disney Plus signups more than triple, obviously.
No way.
Interestingly enough, I wanted to tie this in, but because some of the Disney stuff, like Black Widow, indefinitely delayed. Like they're not even throwing out a new date. They're just like, nope, delayed.
I think it's November.
And I don't know. I kind of think there is a potential here for Disney to try something new, like Disney Gold or Disney Platinum or something like that, where
Disney
it's like
Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus, yeah.
$20 a month.
D++, yeah.
$20 a month for all the latest movies.
Yeah. I mean, imagine that. Imagine that, dude. If Disney just circumvented the boxes.
Yeah, just A-list. Disney Plus A-list.
Do you think that would be enough to get people to actually be angry at Disney?
Box office people,
box office, yes.
absolutely be pissed.
But there's still like that experience sometimes. You want to see certain movies on the big
screen.
But
imagine if there was tiers. Imagine it was like Disney Gold, and you could just do something like where you could see like 1 to 3 Disney movies in theaters.
I want the Cinderella package.
The only thing is like vanilla Disney Plus needs a little more establishment, I think, before they could do something like that. I know the situation,
man. You
can't.
But
the
new
rules
world
now,
we're living in.
Rules now say that. Then it sounds like they're directly trying to profit off the situation that way.
Everyone's trying to profit off the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not paper company. I mean, either way, they're profiting. It's just how are they profiting? Like it's just like they're just introducing something new.
I mean, they've already said like they're getting these Marvel characters in TV form. But so yeah, these big movies, obviously, they're not making any money for them right now. Maybe it might be a good idea. Get the subscription model going. Do a day and date or something.
The Wild West now. It's the Wild West.
Exactly.
I just think vanilla Disney Plus needs to get more content.
Or maybe they will. What if they throw?
It's not that far off from Xbox, right?
Yeah, and what if they throw some of them like a little bit of a phone or something?
Xbox Game Pass. I mean,
yeah, like movie theaters maybe get a cut or something of the.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, Game Pass has been pretty well established now for a while with the
Somebody's got to do it first.
Tons of content, and then as you propose, if they up the price or make a premium version, then it would be more palatable when you've had your fill of the content they've given you for a year. But here, I just don't know if it's deep enough into Disney Plus for something like that to work well.
Yeah, I think it's too new. I don't think that's happening this time around, but I know that they might be. I think that this might make them way theatrical releases more. We're getting into the topic. I think that this may make them way theatrical releases more than what they were previously would have done. Like a movie that they're not very confident in.
Well, let's hold it off then, Jim. We'll get into this later in our topic.
I mean, it's next anyways. We could. I mean, the last bit of news we have is my favorite news of all time.
Is this still true? Because I heard some things were more shaky about this afterwards.
I thought this was all done. I mean, Ahsoka Tano in Mandalorian, and that's Rosario Dawson, who was confirmed to be casted in this. That's for certain. She was confirmed on the 20th, and this news broke. I don't know, on the 20th as well. So that's when she's So very rarely do you see an actress campaign to get a character and then get it, or an actor. I'm sorry. It's just awesome. But yeah, I think I don't know where they get the actual to Slash Film. Slash Film is where they got the actual news from. So Rosario Dawson will appear as Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian Season 2, which is that's actually finished filming though, didn't it? They actually finished this?
Did they?
I thought they did.
I know they were.
I think so, because the guy that plays Hicks from Alien, isn't he in it too?
Yeah, I thought they finished filming it though. I don't know, but they exclusively learned. They're not saying even rumors on this, by the way. It's just that we've exclusively learned. So this is they're not saying this is a rumor. They're saying this is fact. Hey, this is awesome. So guys, this character is my favorite. If not one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time.
Definitely.
She's the best from the new characters of anything. If you want to put Han Solo and Luke in something, that's fine. But this character is awesome. She has the best growth as a character throughout the Clone Wars. She's awesome in Rebels. Excellent in Rebels. I mean, the season 2 of Rebels was the finale of that series of that. Mike, just watch season 2.
How am I supposed to watch all this?
Just watch season 2.
I've told you for years.
I know, but it makes
they're 20-minute episodes, Mike.
Just watch
they're
season
boring,
2.
God damn it.
They are not boring. Season 2 is
They
not
are.
boring.
There's some stuff.
Wait, now stop. There's 2 Rebels, there's Clone War movie, and then the TV.
You don't need to watch that. You don't need to watch it.
Here's the thing. Like, I think Rebels season 2 is just a more impactful thing because she's the Padawan for Anakin Skywalker. So to have that impact in season 2,
I don't even know the order. Like, what's the movie?
There's an image. There's an image that just says like you can watch these episodes. These are the critical episodes, and you're caught up.
I mean, I have time now.
Right. I know. We talked about this for years.
I know, but I didn't care enough when I watched the first few episodes. I'm like, that is stupid. So, but now I'm gonna have to watch something. I might as well do the whole thing at this point.
It's all on Disney Plus. Plus, you got the new season. Nobody's watching that yet? Clone Wars?
Oh, I started.
I watched the first episode. I forgot. Did I mention that? I didn't mention that. That was good. It was cool to go back to the series.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, it's exciting. Like we're getting the live action version, which I know you've been clamoring for, Jim. Which did he freeze? I don't know. I can't tell.
I froze. I've been changing it over here. I can't fix this. This is ridiculous. It's just bandwidth in my house.
It's been a little less, I think, since you switched before.
Well, I definitely have. I mean, my bandwidth usage, my device itself, went up massively at what they were giving me in terms of the data. Mm. But I still am not where I need to be. So I'll tinker with this later. But yeah. So I don't know. I feel like that. I don't know. I'm just happy that character's in this. And Mike, I think you should watch those critical episodes of Clone Wars. Season 2 of Rebels, doesn't have the same. It's a great season. It's a great season, but it doesn't have the same impact as it would have if you watched Clone Wars and then watched that. You don't even have to watch season 1 of Rebels. Just watch season 2 of Rebels and watch whatever you need to watch in Clone Wars, and you're done. You're done. You're good.
Okay.
Because season 1, this guide only says watch 4 episodes out of the 20 or whatever it is. It's crazy.
There's a lot of filler. They have a lot of filler episodes.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I mean, it was a
kid's show.
The last one I watched was Yoda talking to clones and helping them.
That doesn't narrow it down. That doesn't narrow it down at all.
It was the first time I guess that happens. He is just instructing clones what to do in a bad situation or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So I just thought how funny it would be on this podcast if the ball that I'm sitting on pops and I just fly to the ground.
I mean.
Yeah, you there?
Be must-see TV, yep.
Yeah. All right. I thought I froze for a second. Okay, so that's awesome news anyways. Rosario Dawson, I obviously...
she was campaigning. She was definitely campaigning for the role, so...
Yeah, there he is.
She was?
There's the guy.
That's surprising. Did she did she like the character / show? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Interesting. I like when that happens, though.
Yeah, she campaigned for this, yeah. So she's... obviously very excited to have this role, and that's awesome anytime. So all right, let's go into our topic tonight, which we mentioned we've been talking about already, which is the future of the box office, and is this going to the way that this has changed streaming. And first of all, we need better bandwidth, clearly, but if we had the streaming bandwidth and this is successful, let's say Onward, they've noticed has a good uptick in viewers, do they instead start to pick certain things that they're doing and make them actual streaming releases like Netflix does? Is this our future?
Well, I think it's not going to go away. I think that you may have things that drop day and date or have available a week later or something like that.
At this point, why not just put New Mutants on Disney Plus?
Well, I do sort of view it as the equivalent of straight to video still at this point. I mean, we have obviously extenuating circumstances right now but it's pretty much only been movies that underperformed a bit and were in their 3rd or 4th week anyway.
Sonic's out now.
Sonic's coming out now. It took a little bit.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the month, and that's the first successful one that, in my mind, that has an early digital release. But I don't know. I don't know if it'll stick after this, but to me, it's a straight-to-video option, kind of.
I don't think so. I don't think you have to say, okay, these are B-tier movies because they're going straight to the streaming service. I mean, that's where you have to make that separation. The Invisible Man, I thought, did pretty well, didn't it?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, it did fine. It did fine. But that was amidst all this stuff kind of coming out.
Yeah, and Onward was in the middle of this as well. That's the problem. You don't really know where Onward would be right now. So I just feel like this could open those gates for New Mutants is a perfect example, guys. That should be out on Disney Plus. Like that is, or Hulu, whatever they want to release it on. There's no. I just freeze.
No. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep going.
Hulu. I mean, that is the perfect example of where this movie should go to die, because it has been in production hell for so long, and they don't want to put any really marketing dollars behind this thing, and the fact that they obviously can't release it like they thought they were going to this year, it's been delayed indefinitely. Just release it streaming. Call it a day. I mean, that's that. You need to start nitpicking. Like
I've been calling it, and it's finally going to happen. It's finally going to happen. This movie is not going to release in theaters. It's not. It's not. We've been calling this for like what 2 years, or at least I have. I don't know. I think Jim.
No, I was on there. I was on doing it. Yeah.
I was the opposite, man. It was happening before this.
It was fully going to happen.
That wasn't it. We just said it was not going to happen.
And I fully believe that this would have come out.
I think
now.
like
all of this was orchestrated by higher powers just to make sure.
Yeah. I think that's hilarious that like 2 months ago on the podcast, I think I admitted that Corey, you're going to beat me on that call. Like on the theaters. Oh my god, I hate this bandwidth.
But no, I mean, I don't get. It could not be worse than Dark Phoenix. Could not be worse than Dark Phoenix. So just put it out there.
That's the thing. The one show I saw like actually kind of intrigued me a little bit, and like I said, they put my girl Ilyana Rasputin in, and I'm like, damn, like all right, maybe I'll watch it at some point.
And that chick is Anya something, whatever her name is. She's been pretty big. I mean, she was in was it that Split movie you like, Jim?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
She was in that, and then.
I'm not saying that this could be a good movie, but it's been development hell, so I'm not expecting it to be good. But whatever. I mean, I don't think it'll be as bad as Dark.
I just wanted it to come out. I don't care if it's on streaming or if it's in theaters. I want to see it at this point.
Yeah, but I want to see Dark Phoenix now because like there's been so many people. I know, but I have to see it. Like I have to watch it. I have to see how bad it is. Like I have to see.
I just told you that was probably the worst movie I've ever seen.
That's like somebody sticking their finger in like an electrical socket and then like you don't do that, and you're like, well, I gotta see for myself.
But I gotta see what happens. It's the same idea. I don't know. Like I think that I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, moving this topic ahead. Let's just talk about the fact that like, there's. Studios lose a lot of money on movies. They can. It's a big gamble. There's a lot of movies that come out and just bomb. There's bad release schedules. There's a lot of that coming out where like if you're up against the Avengers, you're like, fuck, what are we supposed to do here? Do we move the movie or do we, that's kind of the thing you put out in streaming. Like Microsoft has done this, like you said, for Game Pass for a while now. Like Sea of Thieves, it was successful. We don't know. They just kind of threw it in streaming and Game Pass, and there's the numbers. It kind of mitigates the disastrous thing that could be for a bomb of a movie. And I think that the studios seeing that, especially if these streaming movies become successful now, like if Onward does pretty well, I don't know what Paramount's bringing. I mean, Sonic obviously getting an early release is going to be big. I'll be watching that. And then there's a bunch of stuff. I had a list. I forgot to link it. There's a list of all the stuff that's coming out via streaming now that it's early. I even think they released Rise of Skywalker early, like to stream, if I remember right. Yeah. So. It's been.
I mean, Frozen 2 came out early because of all this too. Plus.
Do we think maybe there's a window? Do we go like 1 month box office 1 month, streaming the month after?
Absolutely, because I mean that's the thing. It's like the reverse of well, not reverse, but like kind of like what it is now. Like the movie is in theaters for like maybe 2-3 months if it's super successful. And then it gets released digitally like a week or two ahead of the Blu-ray release, and then they release the Blu-ray. But like, why wouldn't you do that? Kind of the opposite. Like, do a theatrical release for the people that really want to see it day one, for the people that really want to see it in that immersive experience of the movie theater, and then wait 1, 2, 3 weeks and be like, hey, look, you can maybe rent it digitally at your own home. Like maybe it just requires we'll just go with Disney because I think they have the biggest leverage point out of all the studios right now. Yeah, definitely. Let's say after 2 weeks or whatever in theaters, you could stream the new whatever newest movie for $10 or something like that at home, as long as you have a Disney Plus subscription. I mean, whatever. I'm just throwing out a number, $20, whatever. Like, because I think that's what Amazon's.
No, I think we were headed this way. It's eventually, obviously, but this obviously with the current events going on, this pushed
it's accelerated.
Yeah, absolutely accelerated it. That's a good word for it. And so now, I think the companies that were kind of positioning themselves for something like this are going to be in a better spot than some of the other ones that may have thought that they could,
like CBS,
ride the theater train a little longer.
Like whoever owns CBS, because CBS is terrible with the streaming stuff. But,
really, for the studios, it allows them to get under, out of the thumb of the theater chains, because that's somebody like Disney, exactly. Why do they want to be beholden to movie theaters? Like, just like, we make our own content, like just like Netflix. Like, they don't give a fuck. They're just like, hey, boom, series, boom, TV show, boom, movie. And it's like, can't even keep up with the content anymore.
No, I think that's a good point. I honestly think this is going to change things with that going forward. Even after we get back to the theaters and they do well, I think I just wonder what movie is going to be that movie to get people out of the house and into the theaters once this all. Because Corey, I understand your point. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that are hesitant still. There's going to be a lot of, even though there's people that are going to want to go, there's going to be those people. But it's going to be almost half the crowd that wants to go. Sure. Go. The other half's going to want to stay home and be cautious. What's that movie that's going to finally we all have to go all see this movie? Like, this is it. Like, everybody's back at the box office. Like, later this year, is there a bunch of stuff this year? I don't think.
No, this year is supposed to be really weak anyway.
Yeah, and we talked about this too in our hype stuff. Like, kind of struggling to see what's exciting to go out and look to watch. So
yeah, that's the thing. So it's I don't know. For a while.
I don't know if you're tinkering a lot right now, but you've been bad this past couple minutes.
I am not tinkering at all right now. It's just a matter of my bandwidth is crap, and I don't know why. So,
happens you live in the boonies, even though I live like 10 minutes from you.
Yeah, I'm getting tons more data to my device, but it's bad. So, all right. Anything else to add to this topic? I think we're good, right?
Yeah, it's just like the box office. Television is going to be affected big time by this, and I think that's going to change the way, we see television as streaming.
Do you think traditional TV seasons will be gone? Like how everyone always starts at the same time and ends at the same time. Do you think we need that anymore?
No,
I don't.
I think it's outdated.
I think because of this disruption, it might be done forever.
Yeah, no, I mean there'll definitely be shows that come out in the fall. There'll be shows that come out in the spring, but you're gonna sprinkle it out a lot throughout the year because production stuff is just whenever it's done. Like, you don't know.
Yeah, because the thing I want to illustrate here is that this situation, and not even just for entertainment, but just because we're talking about it. I mean, it's really thrown out any of the previously established rules, and that's honestly why all this stuff is done the way it's been done. It's just this is how we've always done it. Like, we've always started in the fall. We ended for, right before Christmas, and then we picked it up right after New Year's, and then ended, right before summer. It's but why? Well, it was always done it that way. But why? Everything. You can point to games like E3 being in June. Why? Well, just always was. And stuff like that. Okay, cool. Obviously retailers needed to get orders in, but that was back in the day when things were a lot slower. You needed to do this stuff in person. Now it's all digital. Why are we still doing it in June? We've always done it in June. But now that the rules are being broken because they have to be, it's oh shit. It's people are just blown mind. Wow, we can have something outside of this 1 month window? That's crazy. I don't like this. People just don't like change, and I understand it. It's just, be prepared for things to be the status quo, just to be shaken off.
Yeah,
exactly. In all aspects.
All right. Like I said, that's going to wrap up 489 of the Moviecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the like button. We appreciate it. See you guys next week with more topics. See you on the Gamecast. See ya.